MMA for today, friends. I am here with Kami Barzini, a legend. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Can you introduce you for the German community?
I'm Kami Barzini. I'm a MMA coach for the past 15 years. Been doing this for a long time. So I started as a wrestler, and then I transitioned to martial arts, MMA, since 2007. So I've been coaching. I coached at the American Top Team for about 8-9 years, and then I was with Sanford and now Killcliff. Now I'm just taking a little break and doing a lot of seminars here and there. Hopefully we can develop MMA, see development in MMA in countries like Germany and whole Europe, and yep.
Yeah, you said that you originally come from the wrestling sport. What moved you to change and focus on MMA?
Well, when I moved to the States, I was training wrestling. I was trying to stay involved and active. I had a lot of friends. It was through my friend Dan Henderson, a legend of Pride and UFC. I met Dan back in 2005, and I tried MMA. I fought a few times, just small shows, but I liked it, and I was like, okay, maybe this is my path. And I started getting more involved, and I've been in it since then.
You are originally from the Iran, where wrestling is a national sport. Did this had a big impact on your choice of your career?
Yeah, obviously, environment and coming from the country of probably one of the best wrestlers ever producing in the world to this day, it was not as hard as a transition I thought, and I feel like it was in my roots, and I just took the best advantage of it and tried to use my roots of Iranian wrestling to mix it with martial arts in the Western world and be successful.
Yeah, in the beginning of the MMA sport, BJJ played a key role, of course, with the presence of the Gracie family. And during the last decade, great fighters like Cain Velasquez, GSP, Khabib, and so on, everything changed. Wrestling is now the key role. Can I say it so? Do you?
I would say if you have a solid wrestling background and you try to compete in MMA, it's like having an extra key in your back pocket that you can reach back and use it and take the car anywhere you want and be the driver in the game. And it's definitely, statistically, there's so many successful wrestlers to this day and continue transitioning to MMA. It's a great discipline to have, and that's what makes wrestling so crucial to know, to fight in a cage or a ring. It's very useful, and I think it's a very, very important discipline to know in martial arts.
Can you explain us the difference between the American wrestling and for example, the Russian from the East bloc?
American wrestling is folk style wrestling, which is only used in the States, and it's actually conditioning wise and the scrambling and the variation of technique they use is a very useful style of wrestling for MMA, in my opinion. I actually tried it myself, and try to learn it. It's the difference between, I would say, if you wrestle folk style, you're definitely in a good level. You have a good understanding of scrambling and how to manage your body to get away from bad positions, and conditioning. Their conditioning is really something that remarkable, and you will see it. The good American wrestlers always go, and tremendous amount of conditioning. They can use it and try to wear the other party down. As freestyle and Greco, which is the foundation of sport and been probably from the first Olympic. I think the tactique of freestyle and Greco is a little bit different than folk style. A little bit more solid, brushed up technique, but as far as conditioning for fight or MMA, American style, which is folk style wrestling, is very effective. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, thanks. You contributed to the success of so many great fighters. What is your formula for success, and what are the key elements of your coaching leadership that are essential and always adapted to each and every fighter?
I think it was. I would say I was blessed to be surrounded by so many good elite level athletes in the fight game, and I had an opportunity to work with them. But the key to success of mine with working with those individuals, which is so many champions and so many fights I've been into, was try to get to know that individual as far as their uniqueness. Like every recipe doesn't work for every person. I have to come up with something that's going to work for him, work for me, and then we can get along and go on and develop something good. But it was just a matter of knowing to that individual, to their needs, like some of the techniques, or even talking about the fight, or the journeys, like where's he come from, what's he comfortable with, or how can I help him in certain scenarios. It's definitely been a beautiful journey that I had, and I was blessed to be part of a lot of great fighters in my career.
Two former fighters of you who you trained, Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier. They will maybe they will fight in December, but it's not. Yeah. What's your prediction and who you got?
Yes, I worked with Dustin when he was 24, 23 years old. He came to us. I was with Dustin about 12, 14 fights. I was involved in those camps, and also since I moved to the new facility, I get an opportunity to work with Michael Chandler. They're both great fighters. They both have tools, and it's as good as it gets in the elite level for these two. And as far as picking one of them, it's Dustin has been in every kind of a battle you can think of. I believe Chandler is the same. It's a very, very hard one for me to pick. I really don't have any pick on that one. May the best man win.
Yeah. And you participate at 20 UFC title shots or championships. So is it becoming everyday business, or do you feel as nervous and excited like your participation at your first championship?
Being excited and nerves are every human natural feelings, those are there. But my very first UFC walk was UFC 100 with Thiago Alves as a coach in UFC. 5-round fight with one of the best fighters of all time, GSP. Yeah, would I compare myself to that day? I'm not the same coach, not the same guy. I've obviously have tons of experience. Like I said, I had a blessing of being part of a lot of these big fights. But as far as nerves playing a game, no, I would call it the excitement in a different level as an individual that I become, as a coach I became,
And last question. Looking back at your experience with several pro fighters, which of them were the most enjoyable, most pleasant to train?
There were so many of them, man. There's so many of them, guys and girls. Doesn't matter. I really cannot come up with a certain name, but I would say over 15 years. Obviously, some of them were a piece of work. Some of them were easier. Some of them, just like anything else, some connect more better or a little bit smoother. But every one of them, there was a lesson that I learned as an individual, as a coach, made me better, made me more humble, and a blessing. I don't really have a name on top of my head. I would say every one of them was amazing story, amazing life lesson for me.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.